tuned in, tapped in, turned up. I see me and them like that's us. Can't go 5 minutes without laughter. I'm tuned in, tapped in, turned up. Hey.
Hey guys, it is your home and loan girl. I hope that you guys are tapping in because guess what? We're about to talk about the home buyer's process, the steps in the home buyer's process. So many times I'm asked, Nikita, what's the steps? What do I do? What to expect? So I am going to tell you guys the steps, okay? Step one is for you to get pre-approved through a lender, through me. Reach out to me. I can get you pre-approved. Okay. We'll talk about what that pre-approval looks like and what you need to do in order to get pre-approved in another video. But this one is really geared towards giving you the steps in the home buying process. Okay. And a lot of times this is more so for first-time home buyers because home buyers have not had the opportunity, right, to be able to have already gone through this process versus ones that have already gone through the process kind of have an idea what to expect. But the first step number one, is to get pre-approved. Get pre-approved so you would know what your amount that you're approved for, your home buying amount. And that way you'll be able to say, hey, Mr. Mrs. Realtor, hey, I am pre-approved for 400,000 FHA, whatever. You don't really have to go into details, but you'll get a pre-approval letter from your lender to kind of specify what you're working with, what you'll be doing. So that way, that's also the pre-approval is also used for when you do find that house and you submit an offer, they want to see that pre-approval also. So typically you can do pre-approvals. Some lenders do pre-approval or pre-qualifications. I'm not a fan of pre-quals. I don't do those. I really do pre-approvals. Like it has to kind of be that way for me. Step two would be at that point, once you're pre-approved, you say, hey, Mr. Realtor, Miss Realtor, I got with my lender. She was able to get me pre-approved for this amount based on my information I submitted to her. And so Mr. and Mrs. Realtor be like, hey, congratulations. That's awesome. Let's start looking for a house. So then at that point, you start going and, looking for houses and doing home showings that your realtor will be doing, depending on what you want. Definitely make sure you have that conversation as far as what you're looking for in a home, and kind of have some compromisation there because there's a lot of some things that may not be there, but there may be some things that are, and you want to be able to have some sort of level of flexibility. Okay. And unless you have a wide range of a budget. Okay. So just kind of keep that in mind. Another thing would be at that point, once you have started home shopping and you've seen a house that you love and you're like, you know what, I want to go ahead and put an offer in that house. That's going to be my house. Whether you're like, hey, this is a starter home, I do plan to move eventually, but right now this is a great start. Or whether you like, hey, I'm ready to upgrade, upsize, downsize. So really depending on what you want. And then after you have determined that, hey, I want to be able to select this house, then at that point your realtor will say, okay, let's talk. Let's talk about what offer you want to submit. What's the amount? Here's where it's listed at. I ran some comps, which comps are houses that's been sold in a certain amount of radius in that area and what amounts has been sold for. And so you kind of talk about, where you want to fall within that. And so you talk about the offer, and we'll talk about that on another video too, not to get too deep into the offer. But what you'll do is you'll submit a competitive offer. And then at that point, you'll be waiting for the seller and the seller's agent to review that competitive offer to say, hey, okay, I think this is a fair offer. It's competitive compared to what I've gotten from other people if there's a multiple offer situation. So we are going to call your realtor up and say, hey, we want to go ahead and, sign this contract. So the contract that you've sent over, which is the offer, that's what they'll be signing. And so they'll sign that contract at that point. At that point, you're under contract. Oh my God, that is so exciting. Like this could be it. So you go under contract. And once you're under contract, at that point, your realtor and your lender will be working with you as well to be able to get you to that closing table. Usually, once you have gone under contract, your realtor should be already have educated you on, hey, once we go under contract, there is an inspection that you will want to do just to inspect the house, see what the house is, how it's inhabitable? Is there anything that we didn't see that's surfaced, but maybe some stuff that's underneath that we might need to know about? Or is the bones and everything in this house really good, really strong, and everything looks good? You want to know what you're investing in, what you're getting, so that way you can be well prepared, right? So then that's when you get an inspection report back, and the inspector kind of tells you all these things that, hey, we noticed this, or there's a leak here, or blah, blah, blah. And it's just a matter at that point of negotiating those repairs to figure out, hey, do we want to get some seller credit from this if it's not that serious, or if it's really serious, like, do we want to walk away? What exactly do we want to do? And that's where you find your trusted realtor to give you and lead you in the right direction, right, on what it is that your heart desire. And then at that point, your lender will also be reaching out. So mind you, an inspection, it's a separate cost. It's a separate fee that you pay. This is outside of any closing. This is what you pay to say, hey, I need to inspect this home. That ranges from $300 to $700, I think, depending on who you use for the inspection. But whoever you get, you want to make sure that they're pretty thorough, okay? Definitely thorough in what they're presenting to you. And then after that, you would actually get with your lender at that point. If there's any additional documents, your lender will be requesting for those documents from you. Also, you would need to pay for the appraisal. The appraisal typically can run from $4 to maybe $700-ish. So those are set aside. Those funds should be in addition to. So you want to have that additional little cushion that you may want to kind of, know that these are some additional off to the side type transactions, right, that you would do out of your pocket. You want to make sure that if you've been pre-approved through a lender, that it comes out of your bank account, because they're going to want to see, not for the inspection, but for the appraisal, they're going to want to see that you pay for that out of your pocket, out of your bank account. I wouldn't recommend paying for it via credit card, because, just never know how that would look on your debt to income if they happen to rescore. Are you at the max or where you can be at, that could be detrimental, right? So then once you get there, at that point, the lender and title company, underwriters, everybody is working. There's so many hands in that pot that's working to try to get you closed by the date that your realtor and the seller has placed on the contract. So once you have that date, don't do anything until you really close at that point. Because again, you want to make sure that you've closed before you make any purchases for the house, all that kind of stuff. So, but that's the process, y'all. It's super simple process, but it can be, depending on the documents and what you have available, that could be tough. We'll talk about the pre-approval process in the next video, so that way you will know. But thank you so much for tapping in on Thursday with your home and loan girl. I hope this nugget helped somebody, and I hope that it gave you some information that you'll be able to use on your future transaction. And as always, if you are looking to buy, if you're in the market to buy 2022, let me know, get with me so I can get you pre-approved. Check out my help program. Help is on the way. So it's one of my videos that I've made that kind of talked about that program. So don't hesitate to reach out to me if you have any questions at all. And as usual, you guys enjoy your day.
I'm tuned in, tapped in, turned up. I see me and them like that's us. Can't go 5 minutes without